Hey, what's up, friends and family? This is Steven, and this here is Midas. He's the snake that's sneaking up behind me and is probably going to try and bite me on the back of the head if I stand here too long, because this is normally where I feed him. But I'm in the snake room today. I'm planting things out, moving things around, because he is moving from this little tub system and setup here, and he's getting a whole brand new enclosure setup. It's going to be real big and exciting. I'm real excited about that. So I asked you guys to send in some pictures of your enclosures or some other enclosures that you want reviewed, and you guys didn't disappoint. You sent in some pretty great stuff. So I'm really excited to get in and show you this video. Like and subscribe. Big thank you and huge shout out to my patrons. Here's the list there. So if you want to join, there's a link in the description for that. Thanks, guys, for watching, and thank you for my new sponsor, LaCroix. So if you ever want to, smell a fruit but not really taste it, drink LaCroix. Check out this review. All right, and here we have our first enclosure. The viewer who sent this in said that this is for a bioactive Brazilian rainbow boa enclosure. All right, so right off the bat, the thing that I really like about it is the succulents, because this is a tropical enclosure, right? And they're gonna rot out like immediately, and then boom! As soon as you do that, you've instantly got more leaf litter. It's that biodynamic advantage, right? You have a living plant that dies right in there. Really smart, full life cycle. Okay, so that's brilliant. I do want to comment on the lighting that I see here. It looks like you're using a light bulb from a 1980s drive-up motel bathroom. That light is so moody, I feel like your snake is running numbers underneath that little log in the back. Your snake is probably trying to develop like a cocaine and cigarette habit if you keep them in this enclosure too long. Just a heads up. Looking at those PVC pipes, I do like that. I must say the uneven bars, it's a very difficult sport to master, so letting your snake train in Olympic level gymnastics is excellent enrichment. Great job. I rate this enclosure 5 out of 5 rolled up $100 bills. Okay, at first, I really like this enclosure. Look at it. Look at the symmetry, the lighting, the rock wall background. These are universal rocks, backgrounds, and ledges, and they really make some awesome stuff. But when I looked at it a little closer, I got a little mad. This is actually 2 enclosures right next to each other with the same colors and the same substrate and the same lighting. I don't like being tricked. I don't know how many variations in basking site you provide. You're dishonest, and I won't forget it. If you're mad about it, like I'm mad about it, leave a comment below and tell me how you would never lie to me. I need to hear it right now. I rate this 2 out of 5 enclosures. Moving on. Well, okay, well, this is certainly interesting. This is a bioactive substrate inside of a rack tub. Looks like that cork ground is half buried and they've got a little tube to hide in. I'm used to some pretty minimalist tubs, so this is a step up in the right direction. What I particularly love is the use of the dog dish for water. And that tells me that this keeper not only keeps snakes, but also keeps at least 1 dog. I rate this enclosure 4 out of 5 good boys. Throw a chew toy in there, and I'll bump that score up to a 5. Okay. Ooh. Oh, yeah, this one's really pretty. So this is a lizard enclosure, and me personally, I really enjoy plants. I've got them all over my home and in all my enclosures as well. So here it looks like we have a really nice couple really big tropical house plants, some cork tubes and branches. It's really nice. Looks like they've got some ledges and hiding along the back, and that's, again, all super nice. And listen, I think this is a wonderful little lizard enclosure. Lots of stuff to play on and climb on and over, good temperature and good light. There's an obvious issue here, and that's the health of your plants, particularly their mental health. And this is a sensitive subject, so I want to give a trigger warning, but it's clear that this plant right here, it's got a cutting issue. I look around and I see a few leaves unafflicted, but right here up top, the signs are clear. I mean, these are gashes. This isn't just a one-time thing. This happens all the time. I think it may be going through some things you may not be aware of. You need to talk to this plant. Listen to what it has to say, because some way, somehow, its needs are not being met. I get it. We're all struggling. We all have those friends who struggle. And we know to check in on them. But check in on your strong plants too, folks. It can change lives. I rate this enclosure 1 out of 5 plant snips. In the next enclosure, oh, damn, that's big. Well, hey, my lease is up at the end of the month. How much is rent? It's even got bunk beds and everything set up. I've never lived with an albino before, but you know, I've been in the LA area most of my life, so I'm down with diversity. I do see a lot of condensation on the walls and glass, though, so I'm thinking he takes too long of showers, and I'm probably going to have to talk to him about that, especially if I'm going to be moving in. I rate this enclosure 5 out of 5 rental agreements. Sign me up already. All right, we are making our way to the end here, and I've got a lot of packing to do before I can move into that last enclosure, so I'm going to keep going here. This was sent to me with a caveat that this was their first enclosure and their first snake. I see absolutely nothing wrong with this enclosure. It has all 6 sides, a light, storage tote as a stand, and a cat with a possessed reflection. That tote must be full of awesome reptile supplies, too, because you didn't even have enough room to put that extra bag of aspen shavings in it. That's rad, you know? But I'm seriously concerned that you're ripped off because there's only the back half of the snake inside of that enclosure. This is not uncommon amongst new keepers, unfortunately. You know, there's a lot of people out there who want to take advantage of new keepers, and I'm afraid you got caught up in a major scam. So it's not your fault, but I'm going to rate this enclosure 1 out of 5 possessed cats. All right, so the viewer who sent this in said that these are called Applegate cages, and these are neat here. Each one of these boxes has that PVC tube in it there that you can see. It goes down into the lower levels there. And for those of you who don't know, Bob Applegate was a prolific keeper and breeder of a lot of colubrids, and he became somewhat famous, largely in part due to making these kind of cages. But there's a dark history there, because he didn't actually design these to be permanent homes for snakes. No, much like the construction of the Citadel on the volcanic planet of Lola Seyu was designed to imprison rogue Jedi, Applegate enclosures are actually designed to imprison criminal reptiles. King snakes are infamous for cannibalizing one another, and when they would, Bob would seal them up in these enclosures. You know, they believe they're out here seeking security and warm hiding spot in the tube below and the little space that goes down there. But when they get inside, it's jail, and they can't escape. And these look like PVC too, which is a new take on Bob's old wooden king snake prisons. But the function is still just as functional. I rate this 5 out of 5 cannibal prisons. Well, thanks for sticking with me, folks. And last but not least, we have this submission from a viewer. The way he sent it to me, I think he wanted me to make fun of it because I don't think it's his snake or his little bin. But honestly, I don't see what there is to make fun of here. That's a really gorgeous ball python. Even though I asked to see snake enclosures, this guy just sent me a picture of an empty sock drawer with a snake in it. Very funny, my guy, but you can't fool me. This is a channel for animal lovers, all right? And we wouldn't keep a living thing in something like this. It's a nice try. I also don't know why it takes 2 people to hold up this sock drawer, but apparently it's pretty heavy. I rate this 2 out of 5 socks, but 1 got lost in the wash, so just 1 out of 5 socks. That's it, folks. Let me know which one was your favorite, and if you want me to do more of these. Thanks again for watching. Have a great night.